Craigasm XD.
What's wrong with you?
Now, today, news came out about, we have to talk about, what, 3 things?
All right, let's go with the Echo Fox stuff first.
All right. The big old Dora the Explorer Fox is out, and he's going around, and he's doing swiper no swiping, and Swiper went and swiped up Rush off of KT Rolster after he was dropped, after they failed to beat IG and get further at Worlds 2018. So Swiper took Rush, and now Rush is going to be the starting jungler for Echo Fox. So TSM Dardoch, potentially, maybe, we don't know yet.
We're 100%, I'm not sure, honestly. I don't understand, like, I think the, let's see, there's definite weaknesses.
He jotted down every single player in
every single player in every position, but I think there's definite weaknesses throughout the entirety of, what's it called? The league. Like, I think Rush would have made a pretty good impact on pretty much most of the teams he could have taken a place on. Except for Dardoch.
I don't think this team...
That was the really one team that, if they're keeping their jungler, Rush should not get playing time, because I don't think, as of what I saw from last split, Rush should replace Dardoch. I think that if they're planning on getting rid of Dardoch, I could see it happening. I could see them...
They could have put Rush with...
I feel like the thing about it is, I feel like since this happened, I can only see this meaning that Dardoch is going to a different team. There's no other thing in my mind that could happen. Like,
Rush, I think, would honestly work better on Clutch Gaming if you're going for that type of strategy.
I think that Lyra, as of right now, I feel like since we have him away from Feven, I'd like to see what he's capable of again.
Yeah.
But I think
it's just as a better fit for playstyle of that team, I think that Rush fits better in Clutch, but my own personal opinion.
I just don't see, if we're going to talk about anybody getting replaced, Dardoch is not the jungler you go to first. So that honestly, it has to mean that Dardoch's going somewhere else. What else would it mean?
TSM Doc.
TSM Dardoch would be that would be the best team in NA.
But he would make he would be Bjergsen's ward.
Mid lane, so top would be. I would have to see. Honestly, I think I'm getting a little too hyped up. I think that's still probably not the case, but I think that would at least make them in contention for the top 2 or top 3.
Bjergsen and 4 wards. How can that be top 2?
I think honestly, I'm excited. Like I'm excited by this news because I feel like that means that Dardoch's going somewhere else.
But the other type of news is going to be a little bit of interesting. So we're going to couple this together with Fenix is now confirmed to reunite with Echo Fox. So after Rift Rivals, that last game he played where he went 0-6 and 0's Lulu against Fnatic. I mean, Fnatic were better than them anyway. I don't think why anyone would thought Fnatic would have lost to them. Fenix got kicked in favor of Demonte, and Altek and Adrian got let go because of player robot roster locks. No one really actually up to this point, no one really cared about the roster lock thing, but that's apparently a thing. And then they dropped him. Demonte went to another team. They're like, hey, Fenix, you want to come back? So he's probably like, my contract needs to stay the whole year because that's kind of messed up. What about Fenix? What do you think about Fenix?
I think Fenix, honestly, in terms of his contention for the mid lane, I think he beats out.
He's okay.
Some of them. I mean, there's a stacked mid lane roster in NA, and I feel like he beats out a few of them, but not most of them.
But what do you think about him coming back after getting dropped for Demonte, and then they're asking him to come back when they have no other better options?
Realistically, during the summer split, he's not going to be an import slot, so I think it's a good pickup. He could have been a non-import by this split, but they did something bad. But I think this is an incredible pickup. I think that the fact that Fenix came back, I'm gonna say that the past has been forgiven for them, so I'm not gonna be mad anymore. I can't be mad for Fenix. If Fenix is no longer mad, then I'm not mad either.
I mean, I guess, but he was out with any money for a while, so.
Well, he had money. His problem wasn't money; it was the fact that they just dropped him on his face. But he came back, so obviously there's something going on behind the scenes that we possibly can't know.
Maybe he has a more
if you want my honest opinion,
contract.
If you want my honest opinion throughout what's his name? God, the main person, the person who owns Echo Fox.
Oh, Rick Fox.
Rick Fox, throughout Rick Fox's entire career with the Lakers, he's shown that he is what is it called? He's an incredibly easy person to get along with. Mm-hmm. He was the team leader on that team. So I feel like in terms of what he brings to the table, I feel like he probably specifically talked to him himself. Mm-hmm. Something happened and it made Fenix forget what they did to him. Mm-hmm. So I'm incredibly happy. I can't be mad. I can't be mad because obviously There's nothing going on anymore.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I feel like he's gonna be he's gonna be mid tier 80. Even like the thing about it is mid lane is so stacked when you think that
he was MVP candidate for like half of spring when it first started. Too.
Yeah, but the thing about it is Fenix in terms of what has been brought to the table to NA, there's Power of Evil, Froggen, Niski, Crown, Bjergsen, Jensen, Pobelter.
Shoot.
There's some
people like Pobelter might really give him a run for his money too.
I'm just like, I don't think so. I think Fenix is better than him, but I feel like this is a stacked mid lane roster in NA right now, so I feel like he's gonna have a hard time. But regardless, the fact that he's not gonna be an import slot next split he's 100% worth the pickup. But
now we have the kind boy back in the promised land for the For Fun region, North America.
I honestly was not complete. Like I was kind of impressed by how he played, like as the backup jungler on KT.
Yeah,
like
some games they started him first to figure out how the team is going to work, and then they just like, hey, Score, can you come correct this guy's mistakes?
That's what they were trying to like. The thing about it is, Score is going to be better than anybody you throw in there, so it's really unfair to say that he wasn't the starting jungler. How good could he be?
Yeah,
like you're behind Score. That's not insulting to say that you're not as good as him.
Yeah,
but he worked like the way they function in like the end of spring to like early summer split.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he actually filled the role of. You put in your aggressive jungler first, and then your smart jungler second, like as the secondary, like what old SKT did actually. It worked extremely fine with what I saw with like he functioned well under that team. I kind of was surprised they didn't take him to Worlds, but at the end of the day,
I forgot they didn't actually.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I think that the biggest thing that impressed me was that he like the fact that he didn't drop off after so long out of the pro scene. So I think he's going to do well. I think he's going to do well in NA. I think he's still mechanically gifted. I still think he has the drive, obviously, since he's still looking for teams.
And now at this point, he has LCK experience too. Like that just is going to make him a lot more better than a lot of the players he's going to face.
And he brings his fan base. So that honestly, like, there's going to be like everybody's about to forget about what happened last split, and they're just going to like Echo Fox again.
Gosh, they got now their sub base is gonna be almost 25,000.
But I just can't imagine them taking over, like giving Rush the starting spot over Dardoch. It seems incredibly stupid to me.
Unless Dardoch left the team.
If Dardoch left the team, I think that's good for everybody in NA, because I don't want him on that team. But even just like I want to put this out there, with the team with Solo, who's gonna hold the team back, I'm gonna be honest. But then Rush, Fenix, and a a really strong bot lane. Like they're gonna be a completely average bot lane. No, slightly above average bot lane, which is Apollo and Haku. I think this is gonna be a good team. I think this is gonna be in contention to make it to the playoffs.
We're gonna have an average mid laner, and you're gonna have
I think it's everybody's
average bot lane.
Everybody's gonna be at least above average besides top lane.
And you're gonna have a above average jungler.
Yeah, I think
you get a 10th place team.
Don't joke around. They're not 10th place, obviously.
Okay, obviously FlyQuest might be 10th place.
They're gonna be around.
Who's actually gonna be 10th place though? Optic is gonna be probably in 10th place.
We don't know yet, but I think that Optic still.
But the league does look more competitive.
It does.
So I mean, you can easily probably tell who's gonna be the 10th place team.
I don't know. I would like to see them in action. I'd like to see this. Like I think this is honestly gonna be one of the most stacked teams we've had in NA, which means that we're gonna.
We always say that, and then it always comes back to the.
I want to say that
teams that always make it.
But most of these, most of the teams don't mesh as well as we'd hope. So I could say that this team probably could just be terrible. They're probably going to be terrible, to be honest.
Watch them be good in spring and then collapse in summer. Hey Phoenix, buy again. Buy Phoenix for the second time.
Well, I don't think they're gonna do that twice. They had too much backlash.
Gosh.
But I'm excited. I think that this is a good pickup in terms of mid lane, and then the jungler kind of confuses me unless Dardoch's leaving. Then it's fine. So
TSM the Doctor.
That's not even his nickname.
You guys ever watched The Mash? I'm talking to the Doctor. No? That was a really cool epic line. Alright. Nothing else more for me to say about Rush. The problem with Rush is he's just a choker in playoffs. So I think
there's bigger chokers than him. He played really well on TIP.
Yeah, but when it did come to the playoff scenario,
he played fine in the playoffs. The first round of the playoffs against what's it called? He did
remember Toss, right?
Yeah, he played insanely well. So I think that his abilities in the playoffs don't really worry me. I think he's still a good pickup. I don't think he's better than Dardoch.
Like if they're going for like best what they could have gotten, Rush is fine. I think.
I just don't see like if this is all in my mind. This only happens if Dardoch's leaving though. This only he's just a backup if Dardoch's staying on the team.
True.
So.
But do these roster moves get Echo Fox to Worlds?
Worlds probably not because I still think they have a mediocre top and bot lane.
Gosh.
But
I don't know.
I wouldn't even say mediocre bot lane. I think they're pretty solid. I'm gonna take it back. I think their top lane is so mediocre that it just makes everybody else underperform.
And then the last bit of news is Faker joins the Esports Hall of Fame after being a 3-time mid laner, 6-time LCK winner, or 7-time, right? 5. He's won LCK like 5 or 7 times or whatever.
5 or 7.
Between 5 and 7.
What I'm saying is
he's inducted in the Esports Hall of Fame. He goes next to like Mango, Leffen, all those type of guys too. So
it's not surprising. The fact that there is an Esports Hall of Fame means that he's going to it because he's the single.
Who else would go there?
In
I
terms
think
of
Uzi
what
would go there eventually.
If we're talking about players out of
Uzi, Smeb would go there.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be. We're talking about players from.
Just in general, the best players of all time for League.
It would be Faker,
Xpeke.
I think Froggen maybe.
Froggen,
in my opinion, should make it.
Yeah. Mine would be Uzi, Rookie. Smeb would go.
Rookie. I think he's the second best mid laner of all time in my opinion. But I think that it might be talking about domestic success, or it's honestly international success. He has had some. Like he won Worlds, but.
T.S. Bjergsen.
Like
Doublelift maybe? Would Doublelift go in there?
I really don't know. Honestly my ideas of what the Esports Hall of Fame is.
Mata. Forgot about Mata.
Well, I was gonna say Mata and Mad Life.
Mata, Gorilla, Prey, Mad Life.
All of these people are probably gonna make it, but I don't know enough about the Esports Hall of Fame and what the voting count looks like to know.
Yeah, but
the fact that Faker just made it in.
Yeah.
That says something about who's doing all
allowed
of
to
get
to be in there.
Yeah, because the fact that Faker just made it in, did the Esports Hall of Fame just get created?
I don't know. Faker will be inducted, so he's still not in yet, but it says he will be.
Well, of course. But yeah, I'm excited the fact that we're getting a little bit more official in terms of just like the organization itself of the esports community.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I don't know I don't know what type of players they're looking for. I don't know how many players of each, I don't know if they're going to go by each region or who had the most domestic success and regional.
International. Faker, legendary SK Telecom mid laner Faker.
We don't need to read all this.
Will be the first League of Legends player in the Esports Hall of Fame. So.
Well, obviously. If he's
winning the special community award, which allowed fans to vote. Fans voted for him.
Oh, it's a fan voted thing? That's stupid.
So...
Any Hall of Fame fan voted thing is idiotic.
I mean, if they're voting in really good players, then
no, they did it right now because Faker deserves it. But let's be honest, that's why most of the things are not fan voted in terms of Hall of Fame.
They shouldn't be. So eventually you're gonna see Doublelift and Afram
because they're just gonna throw everybody in. Honestly,
I mean everybody who maybe might be a nice recognizable face who changed the game. You don't have to just change the game internationally. You could just change the game by your personality, what you bring to the table to teams, and what you could have offered.
I don't like the voting thing. I think that's
kind of what, in my opinion, ruined the IEMs when they started voting for teams to go.
So all around, I think these are good pickups. I think these Echo Fox moves are pretty decent as long as Dardoch's confirmed leaving. So yeah, I like it. And you got anything else?
I'm Rush, the kind boy.
Haha. All right, guys.
This video's going up right in a minute, actually.
Mm-hmm.